Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I want to take you on a little thought journey. We live in strange times, times where almost anything seems possible. But with that possibility comes some important questions. Are we actually in control of technology, or is technology starting to control us? Let me start with a simple story. Imagine you're sitting at home scrolling on your phone. You think about buying a new pair of shoes. You don't even search for it yet. You just think about it, maybe even say it out loud. And a few hours later, there it is, an ad for shoes right on your feed. Coincidence? Maybe. But it feels like these systems know us better than we know ourselves. And that's where things get weird. Think about it. Just a few years ago, AI was something we mostly saw in science fiction movies. It was an idea for the future, maybe even something we thought would never really happen. But now, it's everywhere, from the way we search for information, to how we shop, to how we connect with people online. And while it feels like everything is possible now, it means that the same technology that makes our lives easier also comes with risks. Behind the scenes, big data is constantly gathering information about us. Every click, every pause, every swipe, it's like tiny breadcrumbs we leave behind. I'll give you another example. A friend of mine was looking for a new apartment. She didn't tell anyone, didn't post anything, but she searched once, just once, and suddenly her entire online world was filled with ads for real estate. It's not that companies are evil, it's just the way the system works. Data is valuable, and in our times, data is money. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. We need to start asking ourselves, do I really want to give away all this information? Is this the right way to use technology? Sometimes I get the feeling we're not really the ones in charge. Instead of us using AI, it feels like we're constantly feeding it. Every time we post a photo, write a review, click a link, we're training these systems. It's like we've all become unpaid workers, data input slaves, giving away information for free while someone else profits from it. And the crazy part, most of us don't even think twice about it. And then there's another layer, access. To get the most out of AI tools, you usually have to pay. Free versions are nice, but the real power, the advanced features, are locked behind paywalls. Not everyone can afford that upgrade, which creates a gap between those who can fully use AI and those who can't. It reminds me of a kid I talked to who wanted to learn coding with AI support. He started out excited, but soon realized that the real power was locked behind a paywall. So while some people have the chance to go further, others are left behind. That gap is only growing. I grew up watching sci-fi movies where AI was this futuristic force, sometimes a helper, sometimes a danger. Back then, it felt like fantasy, something far away. But look around today. Smart assistants, predictive algorithms, facial recognition, it's almost like we're living in one of those movies. Only difference? There's no dramatic soundtrack playing in the background, just everyday life. And while we're talking about how AI is crossing boundaries, let's not forget one of the newest trends, creating your own digital avatar. Platforms which allow you to upload a short video of yourself, and in return, you get an AI-generated version of, well, you. It can talk, move, and present content almost like the real person behind the camera. At first, this sounds amazing, right? Imagine the possibilities. You can create content faster, appear in multiple languages, or even let your digital twin present for you while you're asleep. But here's the catch. Once you upload your image, your voice, your likeness, it's out there. You're not just sharing a photo anymore. You're essentially handing over your identity in digital form. And that's where we need to pause and think, is this just a tool, or are we giving away a piece of ourselves? Like with everything in AI, there's no shame in using it. In fact, it's fascinating. But the real question is, are we in control of it, or does it control us? That's something only time will tell. Here's the point I'm trying to make. It's great to use AI as a tool. I use it. You probably use it too. It can make life easier, help us work faster, even spark creativity. But the danger comes when we stop thinking critically, when we just react, when we share every little detail of our lives online without realizing how valuable that information really is. Imagine telling your deepest secrets to a stranger on the street. You'd never do that. But in a way, that's exactly what we're doing every time we post something personal online. The difference is the stranger is an algorithm. So here's my thought. Yes, AI is powerful. Yes, it's changing everything. But we shouldn't just go with the flow without thinking. We have to ask ourselves, is this the right way forward? Are we using this technology for our benefit? Or are we just handing over control? That's something worth thinking about. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a little reminder to be more careful online. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. How do you feel about the way AI and big data are shaping our lives? Do you see it as a good thing or something we should be more cautious about? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.